Hello, everybody. Welcome to the YINZER Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. We're the YINZER Bros. Tim, in all of his regalia, is wearing the Franco's Italian Army victory helmet from the 70s. Wow. Tim, the Steelers are gaining steam. They beat the hated Ravens 18-16. It wasn't pretty, but it was a great team win. Tim, how did you enjoy the game this Sunday?
Dude, it's snowing here. Can't believe it. It's snowing.
It's snowing? Really?
Yeah.
It's November.
Yeah.
You're getting late November.
It's snowing, TJ. It's snowing. It's miserable. How do I feel about the game?
Yeah.
I think my wife did something for the first time to control me
What did she
during
do?
the Steeler game.
Did she take away your bimbo watermelon thingies?
No, she opened. Like, it's getting to a point now. She can't even. They're not even in the same room with me anymore.
Yeah.
So what she did was, it was a fairly nice day that Sunday. She opened the door to the front of the house. So I was in the back of my mind going, I can't scream too loud because I don't want the neighborhood freaking that some crazy person's inside going nuts.
Well, Tim, you do live in Chicago, which is basically Gotham.
It is like a Batman's outside my door. The Joker's running around.
Very much.
It was, dude. They should have beat that team by 30 points, TJ.
Yeah.
You just kept going in that game. You're kind of going, okay, they're 7 for 3. And you knew it was coming down to the last drive. It sucks. It sucks. Watching games, majority of Steelers games is like, you feel like you're just sitting on a hot poker the whole time. But like, dude, come on.
It's AFC North football, baby. It's a rock fight.
That ain't TJ. It's not AFC North football anymore. It's just Pittsburgh Steeler football. Yeah. That's what it is.
Hey, but let's be real. They beat a pretty great team in the Ravens. You know, the Ravens were everybody's talking about how great the Ravens were. They had the number one scoring offense. You know, the defense hasn't been what it's been recently. Number one against the run, last against the pass or whatever it was. But they still had a stout game. But I'll tell you what, they have Lamar's number, don't they?
It's like he's a different human. It's like Tomlin goes in there and he's like, hey, Lamar, maybe outside the game, say hi real quick, and he like presses a button on Lamar's neck, and like the robot just shuts down. It's like, I don't understand it, man.
You talk about coaching. To me, the coaching play of the game was when Tomlin called that timeout on that 2-point conversion, and only God knows Harbaugh, whatever their second 2-point conversion play is, stinks. They had to throw that thing out of the book.
I mean, I don't know how you keep Derrick Henry off the field on the biggest play of the game.
I don't know. Coaching.
You can't tell me every time he touched the ball, your rear end just got a little bit tighter. You're like, every time you're like, oh,
he's
here
a
comes.
Force.
Dude, you see him like, if you like see him get past the line of scrimmage, you're like, oh no. Like untouched, you're like, oh no. It's just, it's frightening. It's frightening to see, like, he's huge. Najee's a big dude too, but the speed on the two, it's like somebody's running in the Matrix with him compared to Najee. Najee looks like he's just like the old AOL. He looks like the old AOL stuff. and Henry looks like he's got the plugged-in cable. Just boom. It's insane.
He does. He's great. Dude, I'll tell you what. And other than that one long run, man, they had him pretty contained.
I know. The only time I started getting warm and fuzzy was after that TJ Watt hit, where he just obliterated him, which, again, I don't understand I never understand the one guy that, you don't account for is TJ Watt defense, which is crazy to me.
Dude, it's insane. And how about, so you had some of these young guys show up. Herbig looked great.
Yes.
And so did Peyton Wilson. Holy cow. That pick he had was incredible.
Does he remind you, like, when he has his helmet off and you see him in person talking, does he look like one of them, like, the llamas that just, like, spit in your face? What the llamas with the big necks?
He's
got
the llama haircut, that's for sure.
He just looks like one. Like, he just
true.
And just spit right at you.
And apparently you don't need ACLs to run fast, Tim.
TJ, again, if I knew that, I'd be in the I would be retired in the NFL right now. This week would have been all about me and my chances of making it into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, sure. That's exactly what I think would happen. They look. I mean, Russ didn't look great, but he
TJ,
had that one deep shot.
Russ looked. Let's be truthful. Okay, Russ looked terrible.
Well,
He
you know
looked
what?
like dog poop.
But I think this too. If you look at the game, I mean, there were a couple times you some guys open, but boy, our receivers were struggling. I don't understand. Van Jefferson,
That dude stinks, dude.
he must have
Stinks.
pictures. He must have He must have pictures on Tomlin or something like that because he's not very good.
I, he's not very good, but I mean, dude, Russ did not look good. I
No,
will tell you, his
he had a
hype
rough game.
videos are incredible. Like his hype videos are insane. I look forward every week them coming out.
Yeah, his
They're
hype
incredible.
videos are good. And that one pass he did, I mean, Darnell's got to at least make an attempt for that. I think if he jumps, it's right, and it's going to hit him in the head.
To a point, TJ, but at that point in the game, you just don't.
No, yeah,
just
you're right.
throw it, TJ. I would have hit it. I would have hit the guy dressed in a barrel outfit with no shirt on, right between the man boobs in the stands.
I agree. No, you can't take that chance, and you could tell in the press conference Tomlin was not happy about that. But
Yeah, but it was weird because like Russ didn't like own it. Russ wasn't like when you heard him talk. It wasn't like I should have thrown that. He was like, well, I'll try to Darnell. I'll try to throw it up, and make him make a play. Just tell me,
just own it.
just own it, dude.
Yeah. And Fields, man, that great play call for Fields to sneak out there and then he slides a yard short.
TJ, I that was the TJ. I almost broke my TV, and then the second thought in my brain was, oh my god, the Bears have infiltrated the Steelers, and they're just doing it to piss me off. Like he's a Bear that blew the game for me just because I've been making fun of the Bears. That's where my mind went.
You never know. But they came away with the victory. They're 8-2. They're top the AFC North. Now it's on to the hated Browns. I know it's a short week, but the Browns also have a short week, so it is what it is. I already like the hatred between them. Myles Garrett and these guys are already starting to talk a little bit. What do the Browns have to talk about?
Well, if you're the Browns, if you're anybody from the Browns, the least thing I would want to do this week is it's kind of like a trap game is give Pittsburgh any motivation.
Yeah.
And what do? You poke the biggest, baddest bear on
ridiculous.
the Pittsburgh. It was the dumbest thing I've ever. It was just the stupidest thing anybody could do. You just poke the big bear, and I got a feeling bully the bald bully man right now. He got his bully haircut. He's gonna be foaming at the mouth comes tomorrow night.
He's going to be going against Jameis, the turnover machine, Winston, which is great. And it's going to be it's a short week. It looks like the weather's going to be rough, so it could be a real nice AFC North football game, and the snow and the sludge. It could be great. Now, before we get into the Browns, let's talk about the Yinzer mailbag. What is the Yinzer mailbag? It's when you, the Yinzer fans, get to email us anything, any question for the Yinzer Bros. And by the way, it doesn't just have to be about football. It could just be about life. Tim and I have a lot of insight into life. You can tell by just looking at us on this podcast, we're living pretty good, Tim.
TJ, my biggest decisions of the week are like, what do I get pepperoni on the pizza on Friday, or do I get sausage? So if you want to ask me life questions, I'll do my best, but I don't want any. There's like a, don't take this advice to there should be like a cigarette warning they have in the packs,
A disclaimer
on our podcast.
Yeah, that's true. So if you want to
questions.
If you want to send us anything, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and we'll get you on this international podcast. Tim, what is in the Yinzer mailbag tonight?
Mush. Mush comes with some stuff that's like, and then I tell him, like, you answer half my questions. Like, Mush, if we answered all your questions, this podcast would be 7 hours long.
Yeah, we can't do that.
So he goes, 2 games, 1 without a TD scored. Is that fortunate, or the Steelers good?
It's the Steelers are good. Scoring in the NFL this year, except for a few teams, is down, and I think we're fine. I think if you win, it's a win, baby. We don't care how we win.
I ain't gonna cut it in the playoffs. You ain't gonna kick 6 field goals and win in the playoffs. Just ain't gonna happen.
I get it, but I think we'll be okay. I think it's anytime you play your hated division rivals, it's just the way that it is. I mean, how many high scoring Ravens games has there ever been?
That's why I was stunned when you picked you were in the 30s, weren't you?
I was
like, I think I called 20. I was 2017 or 20.
Yeah, I was wrong. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I was drinking the Russ Kool-Aid. And then what I did too? I thought, well, this, maybe Lamar. We're just going to have to outscore Lamar. Lamar stunk. I mean, you know, it was great though too. It was total. It was total Ravens fashion too. Lamar had a bad game, and then when he had a couple passes that did get through, he's bouncing them off of like Flowers, like chest and stuff like that. Which
That
is
one,
great.
that one pass Flowers drop. That thing hit him so hard in the chest. I was expecting Lamar to catch it back at the line of scrimmage and just be like it was insane.
And I'll tell you, so like, here's another observation I made too. So, Deontay, he can't even get on the field for the Ravens. And he was like our number 2 guy. Number one.
That's just,
how bad was he?
I don't think he's that bad. I just think I don't know.
He can't even get on the field, Tim.
He should get on the field. That receiving core stinks.
I'll tell you
what. Stinks.
Maybe he's already, wearing out his welcome there and with the Ratbirds. Who knows?
I don't know. To me, I think he's a decent receiver. I just think I don't know.
Maybe he drops the ball and runs backwards. Maybe Harbaugh's like, whoa, you're going the wrong way, Bucky. Hey.
I guess another question, Mush, is Justin Tucker broken?
Yes. He looks terrible. And then you talk about a guy that is a fraud. Making excuses. Well, the conditions of the field and blah, 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 blah. How about this? How about you stink and you lost your ability to kick?
Man, he's something.
He's bad.
He's bad. And I can't be happier because he's
I'm the same way.
He's
couldn't happen to a nicer guy, nicer team. I know he's a jerk.
He's such a jerk.
He is.
He's a jerk.
Boswell, quiet, AFC Special Player of the Year again. Special Team Player of the Week again.
He's going to lead this team in points this whole entire year.
Hallelujah.
So why can't the Steelers score more TDs in the red zone? What do you think's the issue?
I think it is. I think they need a number 2 receiver.
Do you think that's what it is, dude?
I do.
I don't know, man. Like, I just don't. I think when the field gets condensed down there, Russ can't see over the line of scrimmage.
He was great last year in the red zone. He was great in the red zone last year. So what's the difference this year?
TJ, he's the worst quarterback in the red zone in the league this year.
I know. Last year he was one of the top.
Dude, it gets me nervous, man, because he's not the only dude he's thrown to over the middle is Washington. Like, where's Freiermuth been?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. To me, that's where I think I text you like around second quarter. I was like, I think they need to bring in Fields to kind of open something up with the field. Like, I don't know. Maybe use him in the red zone a little bit. He was pretty successful in the red zone.
I think you could, but I mean, up to this point, they were throwing those moon balls. They didn't really need any red zone offense.
But I mean, I think you're going to see a paste of what the Ravens did on defense. Of they played that two safety shell.
Yeah,
took away those moon balls. It was making Russ try to beat you some other way. And
you got to wonder though too. I mean, it's the personnel group too. I'll tell you this: I was impressed the Ravens got pressure on Russ a little bit more than I anticipated that they'd be able to.
I expected that because the Ravens rush. I think they're close to like leading the league in sacks. Mm-hmm. So their front four is not bad.
So as you rush, you take what they give you. Then you just take the stuff underneath. I did see a few times that he kind of let the underneath guy go to throw something deep. Just take the stuff they give you for now.
To me, I'd rather see Russ just check the ball down, check it down, check it down the field.
I get it. I totally get it.
So, what was your highlight of the game for the Ravens?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's hard to go away from that Peyton Willis interception was pretty ridiculous. That was a good one. You could tell right away, again, that Herbig, that strip 2 was great. His speed is just scary. I'm going to have to go with the Peyton Willis one because I think it was a turning point in the game. That things could have gone south. They could have gone bad. He stopped the bleeding, and then we turned right around and kicked the field goal, which was good because that was right after Russ's interception, wasn't it?
The Peyton Wilson one?
Yeah. So I think, to me, that's what it was. What was yours?
To me, I'm still gonna say the Patrick Queen rip before the half to get those points.
You talk about a guy who's
playing
with his hair on fire.
He's insane the past two games.
it doesn't Tomlin know exactly what to say? One man's garbage.
He does. He's like he just pushes. Dude, that dude would have me either ready to kill him or kill somebody every day of my life. Can you imagine just being like, you know what he's like? He was like dad to me. Like he could push the buttons to probably make me go ballistic.
Oh yeah. He is. You talk about a motivator, and even I like how he kind of threw shade at at Johnson too, man. He was like, we don't worry about guys that you really aren't any threats,
I mean, unbelievable.
And I gotta love too. As much as it's funny, he's like Mr. Jackson. I mean, dude, we even called Lamar Mr. Jackson. So how can Lamar secretly? You know what he wants? He wants to play for him. He doesn't want to play for Harbaugh. He's like, I want to play for a dude that calls me Mr. Jackson. Wouldn't you want to play if he called you? We don't mess around with Mr. Harris. What would that do to you?
Give me my 4 plays. I'd be like, yeah, let's do it, dude. Coach T. I don't know, man. Ridiculous. He is. He just knows. He knows to push. He knows how to push those buttons to get them the needles moving. So I got another question. Gets in kind of the Browns. It goes, Browns ranked near the bottom of most offensive categories in the league, but the D's pretty good. And we'll get into our predictions of how much you think it's going to be for us to points that we need to score for us to beat them. So he went into that, and then
I don't. Aren't they low in rushing defense? I don't think they're ranked.
They're terrible, dude. They're terrible in rushing defense, and I think they're good at. I think they're halfly ranked. Their front's pretty decent, but then again, teams that we played that have crappy, like the Giants, we didn't rush for a bazillion yards.
I get it.
So, he just kind of went into a little bit of the Browns. I think we'll get into in a little bit here, and that's about it. That's all the mush really had this week. Nothing crazy.
How about this? Short week. As we talk about stuff too, this is great. I was just thinking about this on Sunday as I was watching the game. The Steelers had another pretty epic draft class. You look at at their linemen that they drafted. You look at Peyton Wilson. These last 2 years of drafts, pretty stinking good.
You think, dude, you're gonna get probably 2 solid starters on the line.
Oh yeah,
maybe. I think one dude's gonna be all pro in a couple years.
But, McCormick, man, holy crap! Though he's
very good too, dude. He's very good too.
What did they get him in the 4th round?
I think they got him in a 3rd round.
No, third was Wilson.
I thought oh yeah, you're right. It was 4th round, or did they have 2 3rd-round picks?
They may have had 2/3 or 2/4. I don't remember now.
They got him in the 4th round.
What a pickup!
You got Wilson.
He almost looks like a cartoon. Because Peyton Wilson was he a 3rd rounder? No,
he was. I thought he was going to 3rd or 4th round.
Maybe he was one of the 2 4th rounders we had. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he was, because you got the 3rd rounder was the receiver from Michigan.
Yeah, it was Wilson. We had 8 guys named Wilson on the team, Tim.
Oh, you're talking about I think the linebacker Wilson was 4th round.
Yeah, Peyton Wilson, yeah.
And I also think we had 2 4th rounders, and I think that's when we got the dude from the guard.
What's his name?
McCormick.
McCormick, yeah. I was gonna say it's the seasoning guy.
And you still got this guy.
That's true.
Who I think is going to be. I think the tribal chiefs. I don't know. I can't say he's a tribal chief. I think Samalalo, whatever the other guard's a tribal chief. This guy's he's like the second tribal chief, huh?
That's Harrison, right?
No. The tribal chief is.
Well, I know, but you're pointing to Harrison. Are you pointing to the guy behind you?
No, I'm just doing. This is the tribal chief. One's up for the tribal chief.
No, you're right.
The one.
Futanu. You get Futanu back, yeah.
Futanu. You still got that dude that you haven't even seen him yet. I think he's going to be. I think once he goes, you're going to be like, oh.
They're saying there's a chance he could be back for the end of the year now.
But do you play him at this point?
Do you put him in for Broderick
Jones? Is
Brutal Jones
to watch, but you can't. I don't think you can at this point.
No, I think again, you maybe don't want to mess with it unless they get it back late. I mean, who knows?
I mean, do you realize that line next year is going to be like,
and
you're not spending any money on it, and it's like ridiculously young.
I know. Young and strong. All right.
Unbelievable.
That's the Yinzer mailbag. If you got any questions, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com and you get on this international podcast. Tim, let's talk now a little deeper about the Browns. I mean, the Browns are, here's the reality. Why do people still keep picking the Browns to be anything but the Browns?
As Juju put it, the Browns are the Browns. But here's my thing. I don't want to make fun of the Browns and make fun of the people from Cleveland because I don't want to be coming up on our next podcast with me wearing floppy ears and a dog nose.
Yeah. I mean, they're not
treading lightly, but that they should be playing in a landfill in the rest of the state.
They should.
The whole state.
Well, did you see they're putting a dome up? You know why? To keep the stink in, Tim. That's why they're going to do it.
I don't. It's not the Browns or lack of talent. They have talented players. It's Cleveland, dude. TJ, they're never going to be good. TJ, you could take this Steelers team as constructed, switch uniforms, and Tomlin coaching this Cleveland, and we would beat them by 30 points.
You're right.
With Jameis Winston. Because they're the Browns.
You're right. I agree. No. So you look at the Browns this year, obviously, Jameis Winston he's a turnover machine. He is who he is. It was good to see, I'm glad who did they beat? The Ravens? Who else did they beat this year? I forget.
I don't know.
They only got 2 wins.
I don't keep track of that. I don't keep track. I don't know.
So when you look at their offense,
I have no idea
Chubb is back,
who they beat.
Let's just be real. Chubb's not Chubb yet. He's just not Chubb yet. He's still, it takes you a little bit of time to get back.
He's Mr. Chubb.
He's Mr. Chubb. That's right. So when you look at their offense, does their offense put fear in your heart?
No. And that's what sucks. That's what I know we're going to get in there and I'm going to be like fourth quarter again, shirtless. Timmy Teo's an inch from the screen. With his man boobs jumping around, being like, "What are we doing?"
So I don't know. I'm not particularly scared, and I like the posture of the defense. I think they're just our inside backers are fast. Our front line is tough. Our back end is good.
You know what I'm scared about this game? I'm not even thinking about like anything else besides I don't want one of our key defensive players to get hurt because I'm confident. I think we're gonna win this game. I'm saying just don't get hurt. Like this is like a preseason game. Just don't get hurt.
Yeah, I think you're right. So let's go to the other side of the ball. You got Myles Garrett on that other side. Their defense is
their secondary's okay. Their secondary's okay. Everybody else they don't have that. I don't know if it's Joker or whatever his name is to play in the middle. He's hurt.
Yeah.
You got Garrett, but for some god awful reason, Dan Moore is like the Garrett container. I don't know. It's like it's insane to me.
He's having a good year. That guy's going to get paid.
He is going to get paid. You know who's going to be by too? The Bears, and he's going to suck when he comes here, and I'm going to laugh.
That's funny.
So
what do you think of their defense? We should be able to run on them, I guess, right?
Yeah, to me, I think it's going to be. The big thing, I mean, the weather's supposed to be pretty high winds and pretty nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me. I want to see a little bit more of a Mr. Fields.
That package was nice.
That package was okay, but I want to see like more of that to say for teams to be like, okay, it's not just going to be every once in like we have to prepare for this dude because dude, you can't. Did it look like Baltimore prepared for him when he came in at all?
Not at all. No, they didn't know what to do. Yeah.
TJ, everybody in the stadium. I mean, I knew at my house. I'm sitting there going, dude, he's going to run a keeper. Like, there's no way he's throwing the ball when he did the slide. Like, I'm like, he's either going to run the keeper this way, right, or he's going to run it left. And it seemed like the Ravens were like they've never seen it.
He's just fast. I mean, next to their guy, I mean, who's like him in the league? I mean, maybe Daniels to a certain degree, but there's something about him. He's big, he's fast, he's just, I don't know.
I would like to see more of him earlier in the game, I guess. Yeah. Just to see, I think he will loosen that up too, because, truthfully, I think at one point in time, you got to let him throw too. Because if you're sucking them linebackers up, should just be like able to just do something tink, real quick off that and see one of those Freiermuth do something, But
I'd like to see too. I want to see them work Williams, and I don't know if he'll get a ton more work because it was a short week. But playing Thursday, you get that little mini bye before they get that brutal part of their schedule.
And I know, but like I said, it drives me nuts because you see, like, I think it was early in that game, and there was a deep pass and it was Austin.
Like, he can't. He's not that.
Like, why don't you have Williams? Like, if I got to around the goal line, I'd have Williams. I'd have 19 Pickens, and I'd have 80 and 88. Just throw it up to one of the dudes, man.
Yeah, because they're huge. I mean,
they're humongous.
You got 6'4", 6'3", 6'8", and how big is Freiermuth?
He's got to be 6'5".
Yeah, that's scary.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't know.
Send Patterson and Cordell Patterson on, like, with his hair on fire.
I'm serious. Put him in too. He's humongous too.
He is.
And it seems like they're getting a little predictable too, because like every time I saw 15 in the game playing wide receiver, which is that white dude Skoronczyk.
Yeah,
they're running. They were gonna run. If I can see that sitting there from my couch, and I'm an idiot and I'm a dum-dum, you don't think they're like, oh. Especially 15, the white guy, the white receivers in the game right now. Like, you.
Why do all the white receivers not have those long hair? I don't understand it.
I don't know. Like, if I was a defense, I'd have the package. It's what I would call the auto, like white receiver. I'd be shifted into the 46 defense. White receiver.
That's
Receiver.
Right. That's right. No. I think we should be okay on offense. I think, again, we're going to find out more about the Steelers again, because if they are an upper echelons team, they should take care of business.
They should pound this team.
Yeah, they should take care of business.
TJ, they won't. They won't. I'll be sitting here tomorrow night, either trying to get my blood pressure down from them losing this game so I can actually go to sleep, or it's going to be from, like, my heart being pumped up from, like, them winning by like a last second field goal, and I'm like, I got to get my feed of, like, the Amazon after broadcast, which it sucks. I'm gonna be like, I got to watch all this.
This could be an interesting game. I don't know, man. We'll see. I think I feel good about it. I think it's going to be. I think we're going to be okay. I mean, we'll see. So when you look at the team right now, well, let's do this first. What do you think?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, not football related? The game. Yeah. Did you watch the Tyson fight on last Friday?
No. I just saw the highlights of it after it was done.
TJ, I don't even want to tell you my experience with the Tyson fight.
What happened to the Tyson? What did you do at the Tyson fight?
Well, we have at my house. We have my father-in-law's Netflix stuff, so we're here, and I sign on to go to watch a Tyson fight. TJ, it was buffering every fight. I couldn't do anything.
Let's pray to God it's not like that Christmas Day.
If it's like that, TJ, I won't buy that. That would be that Netflix will be gone. I'll blame on Bezos.
Do you pay for Netflix now?
Well, let me put. Here's where the story gets interesting. So every time it would buffer, it would eventually kick you out, and then it would ask you to sign back in. And every time it does that, the code goes to my father-in-law, and he's got to press enter on his phone for it to pop up on the screen. So I'm like, eventually, the Tyson fight didn't start till like 11:30 Central Time. It's doing this thing all the way up to 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'm not going to continue to do this. And by that time, I put in so much work trying to watch this Tyson fight. Melissa's like, just go to bed. I'm like, I'm not going to bed. I'm going to watch this Tyson fight, hell over high water. So I ended up buying Netflix on myself. Okay?
Yeah.
Thinking that would solve the problem. No, TJ, it didn't solve the problem.
No.
My TV was still buffering every fight. But then I'm like, maybe it's the TV. So I put it on the computer. Same crap. Then all of a sudden, I have it on my phone. I had to watch that whole thing, the Tyson fight, from my phone. And every time it buffered, if you try to like wait for it to come back and then press back to go live, it would buffer again. So when it was all said and done, I was like 15 minutes behind the live action. So I was miserable. It was the most. And then I finally like watched the whole Tyson fight. I'm going, you got to be kidding me, dude. I hit a bag 3 days a week. Tyson kind of looked like me a little bit, hitting the bag.
Yeah. Well, you know what they're saying now? Did you see it? Now they're saying there were a few times, and I saw some highlights of this where he could have snuck in there with his uppercut, but they're saying now that they were like the longer the fight went, the more money he made. So they said he kind of pulled his
Did you hear what he said about? Did you hear what he said? Because because you don't watch the fight, they're like the one guy that I think it was Roy Jones Jr. was doing with they're now he's like there's something wrong with his mouthpiece because Mike keeps messing with his mouthpiece in his glove, and the other announcer guy's like, no, I've watched plenty of his fights. He just bites his gloves all the time. So they asked him that question after the fight, like, Mike, we having problems with your? He's like, no. He's like, I have a fixation of biting things, so I bite my glove so I don't bite something. I'm going, this dude is off the rocker.
Well, he did. He has eaten body parts before, Tim.
I agree, but I mean, for you to be in a boxing ring and you're just biting your glove because you have a fixation of biting people. I mean, that's unbelievable.
There's something wrong. Would you get in a ring with Tyson, Tim, for say somebody said we're going to give you $100,000, you got to last 3 minutes with Tyson?
$100,000, but I have to last 3 minutes with Tyson.
Yeah, can you? Could you?
There's no way there's no.
Can you dance enough, Tim, to last 3 minutes?
Oh, he would corner me like I would, you know, how stupid I am. My brain would go back to like Mike Tyson's punch out as he's charging me, and I'd be like this. And when he does the uppercuts, I'd be like this, and try to do like this, and it'd be like real life, and it wouldn't work, and my head would just fly off of my body. I'd be like, I thought it worked in Nintendo where I dodged and back up, but no. If the answer was $100,000 to get in the ring with Mike Tyson for 3 minutes, I would do that because after I would give myself maybe 22 seconds. Maybe.
Do you think you could take more than one of his punches?
Where are we talking?
Anywhere, Tim, body or head. Do you think you could take a couple body shots from him with his heavy hands?
No, TJ. I had an episode.
What if he hit you in the left breast?
TJ,
what are you gonna do?
I had an episode yesterday. I was on the couch and I tried to get up too fast, and it felt like I don't know if it was a cramp or something in my side. I was like, Melissa's looking at me like, do I need to call an ambulance? Are you having a heart attack? I was like, wait, give me a second. I was like, I can't move. Like something. So if he hit me there, dude, my rib cage would probably it'd be like an accordion. You'd be like, hee hee. But if he hit me in the shoulder or something, my right shoulder's so screwed up and it's numb the pain, probably wouldn't matter. But if he hit me in the gut or the head,
what if he gave you one of those uppercuts? Do you think you could withstand an uppercut?
To the chin?
Yeah.
TJ, I would. Truthfully, I'd probably leave my feet, and hopefully
you'd have an out-of-body experience, probably.
I probably would. It would be TJ. It would be like just right before Apollo Creed died with that final shot with the Russian. That's what it would look like.
Tim.
My wife and my daughter would be on the floor like, no. And all of a sudden, people would be running and be like, I think he killed him. And yeah, that's where it'd be.
He didn't even throw a punch yet. He just took a step back. I think he cramped up. I think he pulled a hammy.
For me, it'd be hilarious because he'd probably do that, and like the way I land on the floor on the ground, I'd probably be like in snow angel position, and knowing my body would like for some god awful reason would start twitching, and I'd be doing like snow angels, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, he's doing snow angels in the ring."
No, it'd be bad. So let me ask you a question. Oh, give me your score prediction real quick for the game. What's your score prediction?
I think it's going to be a 21-10 game, maybe, if that, maybe 18-10, 17-10.
I'm going to say I think the Steelers offense breaks out this game. I'm going to say 31.
You picked 31 the past like 6 weeks, dude.
And I was close the first one. I was close against the I'm going to say 31 to I don't think the Browns are going to do much. I'm going to say 31 to 6.
It's just to me, it's just the weather's going to be too crappy, and it's I don't like the turnaround. I just don't like the turnaround after the Ravens game. That's my. If it was anybody else besides the Ravens, I'd be like, they're gonna demolish the Browns. That's why I think it's gonna be tight because it was the Ravens.
Well, they came through pretty unscathed. I mean, and it's yeah. If Benton was going to be out, that I'd freak out. But I think they're going to be heavy up front. And well, I'll tell you what. What's Winston going to do with? What do you do now? I mean, they were at times triple teaming Watt on that left side, which is insane. I mean, see, you look at a guy like Winston; he's not mobile like Lamar.
Well, I think they have I think they got their normal right tackle will be there. So I think he's still got to help with Watt, but I think it won't be as bad. But their other side, I think they're down to like the third or fourth stringer. That may get ugly. I mean, Herbeck is. You get him in passing situation, that dude flies off the corner, man. So in my gut, I got a feeling everybody's been crying and complaining about no Minka turnovers. I think this may be the one. If there's any game for him to get a turnover,
yeah,
this one may be it. I mean, Winston throws turnover. He's like it's like throwing like they're
dude. He's
Christmas
funny.
gifts.
He's funny to listen to too. He says some of the craziest stuff.
He does. He's great. Like if he was our backup quarterback, like I'd love it because I would hear Winston talk about stupid things I've never heard of in my life.
So do you think? I mean, you're looking now. The Steelers were 10 games in, Tim. Do you think they have the moxie? Could they? Do they have a shot at hoisting the trophy? I mean, we saw the Chiefs, we saw the Bills, play against each other. Actually, the biggest team that makes me nervous right now is probably the Lions.
Oh, they're very good at football, TJ. Do I think they can win it all? I don't know, man.
I mean, they just shut down the number one offense in the NFL.
I know, but Josh Allen gets me nervous. He's a different beast, man. That's the dude that gets me really nervous. I just think Kansas City doesn't have the weapons to beat you yet. I don't know. Kansas City gets me nervous. You'll know those two teams. I'm not going to say you write off and you're not going to want to play one of these tight games against Kansas City. Let me put it that way, because you're going to lose. You'll be playing. So, but I also think too, even when Russ was in Denver, he had Kansas City's number, which is weird.
He did.
But Buffalo gets me nervous, dude. It looks like they're getting something, and they look different from years past for some god awful reason. Mm-hmm. TJ, I'm going to be truthful, man. I am ecstatic. I know we had this conversation on Sunday night. I am ecstatic. There is pretty much a stake in Cincinnati's heart because that dude over there, I don't care what you say about that. Burrow is nasty. He's nasty, TJ.
I get it, but it's the whole team. Their offense or their defense stinks, and they can only do so much just on their own. And here's Burrow was kind of losing heart now too, which is, I mean, I hate to see it because Chase is going to be there next year. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be there next year.
They will sign Chase. He'll be there. I don't think T. Higgins won't be there. But I will say they get me nervous. I'm kind of happy they got a kind of a stake in that heart. And dude, watching a healthy Justin Herbert, that team got me a little nervous too, dude. Because to me, if that Justin Herbert that showed up Sunday night was playing earlier in the season against Pittsburgh, Steelers don't win that game. No way. No, that dude was throwing seeds everywhere, and he was running. That team's different when he's healthy, dude.
I agree. No, I agree that he's different when he's healthy, but I mean that's all part of the game, though. Too, you hit guys when they have their injuries, when they don't have their guys too. I mean, you could say, if we had Russ Wilson against Dallas, do we win? If we had Russ Wilson against the Colts, do we win? I mean, it's all part of the game. No,
I agree.
Okay,
but the way that dude's constructed right now, they get me a little nervous hanging around there.
I mean, there's an actual shot. I mean, we're looking at the AFC North. We could win the North, and there's a shot that we could finish with the 1 or the 2 seed. It's been a long time since we've had that.
I've had this conversation with my wife, man. If they somehow get to the AFC title game, Tej, I think we get. I told myself I'd never go to a cold game again. We may have to make appearance if they do have the home field advantage and somehow make it to an AFC title game, dude.
We even have money now, Tim, where we could buy things that are battery operated to keep us warm.
I tried that in Green Bay and it just didn't work. It just failed. It failed.
Tim, Oh well, we have another game Thursday night. See, this drops a little bit early, so hopefully we'll have a victory podcast before the next game, which is against the who do we play next after the Brownies?
Is it the Eagles or the Bengals?
I think it's the Eagles. I think we'll have to check. I don't know. All right, well that does it for this podcast. Again, if you like what you hear, please subscribe, like, do what you know how to do. Pass it along to all your friends. We're cresting.
Hope Mike Tyson's not watching this podcast
Oh,
because some of the
dude,
stuff I said,
if he
he
is,
will actually be in the bushes.
Tim lives in Winfield, Illinois. What is that again? His number is 708.
Hey.
Once again, we're the Yinzer Bros. It's good to be with us, or good to be with you today. Don't forget to pass us along to everybody else. We're the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Still number one out here, right?
Yes, we are. See ya.